Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Resources. Minister, freedom of information is fundamental to a healthy democracy. This right to information is enshrined in law to stop politicians making up their own minds about what the public should know. Minister, in two recent cases, right to information disclosures have shown in black and white that you've misled the Tasmanian people. First, our RTI on duck hunting showed your own departmental experts strongly advised against proceeding with this year's duck season, a fact you refused to admit under parliamentary questions, even while you referenced other parts of that same advice. Now we've received an RTI from Forestry Tasmania that shows there was a planned 5-week closure of the Styx Road, a direct contradiction of your shrill denials. Minister, accountability is another tenet of a functioning democracy, but so far, rather than admitting fault and apologising, your response to these matters has been to double down on your mistruths. Minister, will you today, on International Day of Democracy, stand up and correct the record on these issues? And will you apologise to the Tasmanian people for the disrespect you've shown to them and to our democratic processes?
The Honourable Minister for Resources.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Leader for the Greens for her question. And of course, this question is coming from the Leader for the Greens, and this is from a political party that wants to put out of work thousands of Tasmanians. They have a policy to close down our native forest harvesting sector. The implications of that is thousands of jobs.
Relevance. This is completely irrelevant to the question that we asked, and I ask you, please.
Well, as you know, that's not a point of order, and I can't put words in the Minister's mouth.
He never respects the orders.
Madam Speaker, they don't like to hear the truth. They don't like to hear the
we'd
facts.
like to hear it from
and this
you.
is coming from a political party that has an objective to put out of work thousands of jobs. This is during the most significant economic and health crisis of our generation.
Talking about
and this political party has a policy to put
Ms.
out of
O'Connor,
work
I'm urging you
of
to calm down.
It's a great shame. It's shame on that political party
The shame
during
is
this
the fact that you are completely
this challenging
dishonest.
time for all of us,
Continue to
economic
see
and socially and environmentally, and, Madam Speaker, health-wise. They have a policy to lock up more of our forests, Madam Speaker. They have a policy to put out of work many thousands of Tasmanians, and of course it's on the back of the Labor Green policy that was implemented, where 2 out of 3 forestry jobs were lost. They took the industry to its knees, the forest industry to its knees. They've destroyed regional
O'Connor
communities,
and Dr Woodruff.
thousands of jobs, and of course the hundreds of millions of dollars invested. Of course, it was this House, this particular House.
Madam Speaker, I implore you, under Standing Order 45, to direct
Minister, could you take your seat, please?
To direct the Minister to answer the question, please. He's gone nowhere near it, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
It's the same tired garbage we get every time.
Well, you're a very experienced woman. You know that's not a point of order. I can't put words in the Minister's mouth, and I ask him to try and be relevant.
That's what I was saying, Madam Speaker, that this House of Parliament actually approved the permanent timber production zone land that was specifically set aside by both Houses of Parliament, including this political party, that would provide wood for our wood supply in the coming years, including for Sustainable Timber Tasmania. So, Madam Speaker, let's be very clear that I was advised by Sustainable Timber Tasmania that they had no immediate plans to harvest any coop adjacent to the Styx Road or close the road in mid-August.
But they did.
The following is a statement from Sustainable Timber Tasmania.
What about the
This is their brief.
Order.
Let me read to you, Madam Speaker, what Sustainable Timber Tasmania said. Sustainable Timber Tasmania can confirm that it has no immediate plans to conduct harvesting activity adjacent to the Styx Road. Sustainable Timber Tasmania has made publicly available its 3-year wood production plan. This plan has identified areas for future harvesting, including hardwood plantation thinning.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. I am concerned the Minister is now misleading the House. We have a right to information from the PIPWI which shows that what he's saying is untrue.
Yes, please, Leader of the House.
of order, Madam Speaker. Look, you've ruled on this now twice, and the member hasn't even raised a standing order. It's disruptive and disorderly, and I just ask that you protect the minister's ability to actually answer the question to the House. And
Yes.
Madam Speaker, while I haven't brought attention to that, again, on parliamentary language, it seems that the minister would want it to be withdrawn. We're instructed to not use that language in here,
Yes.
and I just ask that regardless of whether or not you make the member to withdraw it, that it just should cease. It's just inappropriate and unparliamentary.
Yes, I do agree. It is most unfortunate, and I don't like people being accused of being liars. Could you please resume, Minister? It is not a point of order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and it's most inappropriate, that type of language, Madam Speaker.
No, what's
and
inappropriate
it's not
is you
appreciated.
continuing to mislead
Woodruff,
Tasmanians.
It's not appreciated.
Please.
So, Madam Speaker, I'm reading
That's
from
a
the
serious
Sustainable
issue.
Timber Tasmania
Yes,
brief.
and I'm trying to hear you, Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So, Sustainable Timber Tasmania has made publicly available its 3-year wood production plan. This plan has identified areas for future harvesting, including hardwood plantation thinning and native forest harvesting adjacent to the Styx Road in the Taina Valley near Medina. A scheduled plantation thinning adjacent to the Styx Road Coop TN 052K was delayed in early August, with harvesters taking longer than expected at their existing location, resulting in the need to reschedule the operational order of plantation thinning harvest activity. It is anticipated that the plantation thinning will now occur at TN 052K sometime in 2021. Sustainable Timber Tasmania is committed to working with neighbouring land managers to provide alternative access to the Big Tree Reserve if a road closure is required, and will work to minimise the impact on local tourism operators. Sustainable Timber Tasmania...
There is no planned closure.
Miss O'Connor, I'm sorry, you are really becoming infuriating. That is warning number 2.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. Sustainable Timber Tasmania recognises the access and multiple use the Forestry Road network provides, and routinely works with local tourism operators to minimise impacts of harvesting operations around the state. So, Madam Speaker, that's the end of the brief. So I'll just make it very clear, I was not aware of any potential...
How do you explain the fact that
Dr.
the
Woodruff, you know the rules.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was just making it very clear I was not aware of any potential plans STT had for managing plantations in that area. But let's be very clear, despite having the leaked email in question and knowing full well that the contingency plan was for plantation thinning operation, the Greens and the Bob Brown Foundation knowingly made the inaccurate claims that giant native trees were being harvested. I say shame on the Greens who chose to spread misinformation and create fear during the greatest health and economic challenge in a generation, simply to further their own political agenda. The decision to not proceed with this plantation thinning operation was made prior to the Greens and Bob Brown Foundation alarming local businesses and creating a media event to advance their own selfish goals.